do for the intro last time when I just made it up on the fly?
I don't know. Do it again.
Let me just make up a random one. What is up, users of the Scary Baby channel, and welcome to the first ever unofficial Peebis Podcast. Yeah, that's right.
Unofficial?
Unofficial. I mean, like, hmm. I should come up with a better intro. That's kind of just ripping off my YouTube intro.
Alright.
Hmm.
Alright, boys. So basically, for explanation, because Kepi sucks at intros. Yes, this is a podcast. Yes, it's the Peebis Podcast.
The
Yes, we
Peebis
have a
Podcast.
podcast. Why do we have a podcast? Why do we have a podcast?
Why
We
do we
like
have a
talk.
podcast? I don't know. We just
We like
feel
talking.
like it.
If you've ever watched our streams, occasionally, late into our Rocket League gameplay, we'll just start talking about random shit, and it's pretty entertaining for us, and we feel like some people might like that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna replace any of your uploads, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, this is just gonna be an additional upload.
Yeah, it'll just be like an additional upload. I don't know whether I'll put it on my main. I think I'll put it on my
It
main
should be
channel,
in
but
Hmm.
like it's not gonna be like an official upload that'll take place of like a gaming video.
Yeah. It'll be like
It's
it's
just gonna be
hopefully
an
a weekly
additional
thing, but it's just
just
gonna be there.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
gonna be there. It's just gonna randomly be there, and you'll see
yeah.
it when it
For,
is there.
for the one weird person who likes hearing us talk.
Yep.
Right. So I think just to explain quickly what actually is the Peebus podcast. Again, it's just us talking about random things, literally random things. We
Yep.
don't have a theme.
We don't have a theme. We don't have like anything planned out.
Don't like
We're
our plan
literally
today. We made it up 5 minutes before we started.
yeah. We were like so we're gonna do Peebus podcast, right? What should we talk about? It's like, maybe you did this thing today. Maybe we can talk about our experiences with that thing that you did today. Ah, yeah, let's do that.
Which brings us to what our topic is today. We're, at least for the start of it, we're going to be talking about our experiences with parties. Good ones, bad ones, and just ones we found interesting.
Yeah. Also, when I said uh, unofficial, I actually meant to say unofficial first episode. Yeah, because I don't know
Alright,
if
yeah.
this will be the official first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll decide, but
It's the
it is the
official,
official part.
official. It's the official PP, the official Peebus
Yeah.
podcast.
So, this is the official PP, lads.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Any other PP that you know of, it's not official.
Yeah, nah, we're the only ones.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Take the
Well,
skim eggs, crack them open, put them on a skimpet, a skimplet. Wait, a skimplet. Crank the heat up, let it skin cook. Flip it for skimper side up, cook for another 5 minutes, then put on skimplate and skimpet away.
so,
I
for
have
viewers,
no clue
that
what
is,
that is for.
for viewers, that is Twitch chat. If you want to know the context, watch the streams. But,
Alright. Yeah, and
yeah.
also for this podcast, it's not gonna. We will sometimes, not always probably, but sometimes take suggestions from Twitch chat on what to talk about because
So yeah, if you have anything you want us to talk about, like you want our opinions on something and want us to talk in depth, because like if you ask Skeppy in the comments of a video, he's probably not going to go in depth. So the podcast is probably the best place to do it.
yeah,
And then just one last thing, the gameplay in the background has no relationship to what we're talking about. We're just
yeah,
doing it to keep entertained.
yeah. See, we could just do like the podcast without any gameplay in the background, and we might do that sometimes. But this gameplay is actually more for me than for anybody
Yeah.
else because I find it easier to concentrate on something that I'm like talking about when fidgeting or doing something else. So that's why I'm
So
playing.
this isn't a Rocket League video or a Rocket League stream. It's there for us
Yeah.
and
I
for like
mean,
the
it,
few
it
people
probably
who,
will entertain some people,
yeah.
but
So
yeah,
but it's just
it's mainly for like us. Anyway, so topic of today's podcast, or like the initial topic that we came up with right before we started the podcast, not before we started streaming,
yeah.
before we started like the podcast. Before this, we were playing State of Decay. Finished our
Yeah.
close combat only green zone playthrough.
That
So
might
I
be
went
it.
right before I streamed, I was at a party. I was at a friend's party, so party, and then we were like, let's talk about that experiences with parties. Now, first, I'll go to the experience I had at said party that I went to today. It was just like a regular party. Now, something, something I just want to say. Every time I go to, I'll queue us up for a game. Why not? Every time I go to a party, I normally arrive either early or on time. Same for when I'm going to a friend's house. That's just how I am. I like being punctual for things. But this time I was like, I don't really feel like arriving first, so let me arrive late on purpose. I arrived 15 minutes late. I was still the first person there.
Ah, yeah. I know the feeling.
And
Because
then
I always...
it took another hour for other people to start showing up. And one of the people, we asked them, hey, are you... Because we asked them if they were coming, they said they were going to come. And we were like, hey, where are you? And he was like, wait, shit, this is today? I thought this was tomorrow. And I was like, bro.
I know the feeling, bro. I do like to be punctual as well, and like, I'm always, even when I try to be like, I don't want to be half an hour early or something, and I'd be 10 minutes late, I'm still the first one there, and I don't get it.
Oh my god, yeah, I really don't understand, but yeah, it took... Everybody was late. I was late on purpose, but everybody else was just late for no reason other than they were late. They didn't have
Oh,
reasons.
before you carry on that, just speaking of that, one time the host was late for a party I went to.
How?
I'll go, I'll go into that after. Just carry on with yours. Let's finish.
Okay, yeah, so everybody was late for the party, but it was an enjoyable party. We kind of just like... It was just like a couple people. It was me, the host of the party, and 3 friends, along with one of the friends' girlfriends. I think it was his girlfriend. I don't know her. Maybe she's just a new student at school. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. So it was just like a little chill gathering. There were meant to be more people, but they didn't come. It is what it is. Yeah. So it's just a little chill gathering. Had fun. We 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 didn't exactly braai, didn't exactly,
Uh,
but we did like...
for people who don't know what that is, it's barbecue.
Yeah, it's barbecue.
Yeah.
That's what braaiing is. It's barbecuing, but better. No.
Yeah.
uh,
Let's say.
so the host of the party, he he barbecued some burger patties as well as some chicken sausages and lamb sausages.
Nice.
And we had like burgers and shit. Um, that was nice. And then also, just want to talk about something that was hilarious for us. We tried to start a fire, like a little, I don't know what it would be classified as. Is it
Like a bonfire?
bonfire? Bonfire, I guess? You had like a
Yeah, I guess.
little steel, thingy thing that you'd like put coal and or logs into.
Alright, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Maybe,
so,
yeah, it sounds something like that.
we started the fire. It did not grow big, like, at all, no matter what we did. Even when we moved it out of the wind. It did not grow big, it just refused to. But the weirder thing is that it was decently sized, but if you put your hand right next to it, even into it, it was not hot. It
Yeah,
confused us so much. It's like, normally, fire equals heat, no?
yeah, it does, but yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, literally, like, one of the people, he put his hand, like, right next to the fire, and fire started blowing onto his hand because of the wind. And he just kept
Wait,
it there.
what color were the flames?
Regular color, like orange.
So yeah, if it wasn't like a intense kind of flame, then it will be quite not hot. I don't want to say cool because fire is never cool, but it just won't
Yeah.
be as hot as like one would expect.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think people regularly can, like, stick their hands into fire.
No, that's like it was at the I'd say that fire was at the point of it not actually being ignited. It was like just there. That was probably because of the fuel source. Something's up with it.
We used fire starters, you know, the little white cubes.
Oh yeah, them's aren't the best.
We used fire starters, we had coal and wood.
Wood is probably the best if you want just like a long lasting, nice hot fire. Fire starters, they're quick, but they're kind of cheap. Coal, it's not really used for big flames, it's used for high intensity heat though. So, yeah, there
Oh.
you go.
But there was
sounds
no high
interesting.
intensity.
Yeah, okay, in that case, I don't know what's wrong with your fire.
It
Maybe
was
South
so
African fire is
confusing.
just not as
South
good.
African fires are just different.
Yeah,
It
it's
was a
bullshit.
defect of
That's
whoa.
Yeah.
How
So,
did I
yeah.
score that? Did you not touch it?
Just look what happened.
Alright. Wait, Scappy, why the Twitch mod remove? Because remember when I muted both you and Bacon and removed your admin on my server? Yeah, I also removed your mod because, can't have mods acting like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we had a defective fire.
Yeah, that was.
Luckily,
I
that was not the fire that we used.
Yeah, that wouldn't have
Oh,
been
imagine
good.
if I doubled that. That was not the fire that we used to cook.
Yeah,
That was not the
luckily,
fire. He had a
luckily.
I think I don't know what it's called. It's like it's you know those like braai stands. They're like pretty big, rectangular. They have a lid that you can close, and like you have to connect
Yeah.
them to a little gas canister underneath the table.
Oh,
Oh, thingy.
a gas grill.
Gas grill, yeah. He used that.
Yeah, right. I hate those. Listen, I like me some natural fire. Yeah, gas counts, but I'd prefer just having coal there. But yeah, it sounds nice. Sounds nice. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like
The
too
burgers
too
were
insane of a
nice.
fun.
We didn't have that much selection for what to put on said burgers. We had nice store-bought sesame seed buns. Um,
Um,
we had onion, le onion. Uh,
on you,
we had the burger patties, obviously, and then we had
obviously.
ketchup. That was it.
That's a pretty sad burger right there, mate.
I mean,
See, that's the thing with
it tasted
parties is
alright.
that
I hadn't eaten before I went. Like, I literally just woke up, got ready, and then went to the party. I hadn't eaten, so, you know, it was alright. There were also these, like, chicken and lamb sausages. I didn't have any of the lamb, but I did have chicken. And I had the chicken, and, it wasn't, like, I don't know what kind of chicken sausages they were, but like it didn't taste like just chicken. It seemed like there was a slight amount of spice in there. It wasn't like extremely hot or anything, like on dying, burning my mouth, but it seemed like there was a bit of spice in there. So that was nice. I ate like 3 of them because they were pretty small, and then I picked up a 4th one, and it was just so squishy. And I was like, "Why is this so squishy? What's going on?" And then
chicken
he was,
sausage is squishy.
and then he was like, "Did you eat that?" And I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "I didn't cook all of the sausages." And I was like, "Then why put it in the same dish with the cooked ones?"
Wait, why did he do that? That's cross contamination. That's illegal. Cross contamination. You're not allowed to have cooked meat next to raw meat.
I don't know, man.
I'm thoroughly disappointed.
I'm sorry, Sponge. You can earn mod back
Oh,
eventually if you stop acting like you did to get mod removed. You know, act
yeah.
like a
But
mod should.
anyways, so just from that, it sounds like a pretty calm party. Nothing,
Yeah, it was a pretty calm party. Pretty calm.
yeah, not too hype.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
I mean,
wait.
that's
I got the amount. Oh, wait, no. I mean, no, I had the amount of people there correct. No, I had the amount of people there correct. I thought I had the amount of people there wrong for a second. I was like, oh, yeah, I had it correct. I'm stupid sometimes, you know? You know.
I mean, so that was his party today. It's pretty short. I'd say my
Oh
party
my gosh.
experience ranges. So I'll go because I mentioned this earlier. I think what I should start with was my experience with the host being late.
Yeah. Why would a host be late for their own party? Like, hello?
So this party was now this isn't so much a thing in England. People don't really do this, but it's Sweet 16. I'm sure everyone's heard of
Oh,
it.
Sweet
And,
16, yeah. I had a
yeah,
friend who was meant
English
to have a
people.
Sweet 16, but then COVID.
Yeah, so I don't see the purpose of it, and it's not really done too much in England. But
Oh,
point is that I was meant to go to a scene. This was about a year ago. I'd say roughly a year ago. Maybe a couple months, give or take. Um, and so it was a pretty decent place, you know. It was like a decently large venue, and it was kind of fancy looking, to be honest. But like everyone was in casual and whatever. It's like because it was a party. It was the 16-year-olds party. Um, and like everyone was there. I think it was like 30 people. So you don't want to keep 30 people waiting. We were meant to be there at
yeah.
around I think it was 9:30 p.m.
Hmm.
We were all there. I obviously went there a bit early. I was there at 9:15. Um, and everyone came in. It was about 10 o'clock now, and everyone's still waiting for the host to come because the host's parents weren't there and the host wasn't there. So we were all just wondering
Where is
what
the
happened,
host?
what's happening.
What's
So
happening?
like we didn't want to like start eating or anything without the host. 'Cause that's just
That's
that's not
understandable.
proper.
That's just proper etiquette.
Yeah, so you don't do that. But at the same time, a lot of us didn't eat because it was kind of like a restaurant-y venue. It wasn't a restaurant, but it had like it had catering. Um,
Oh,
and it was pretty cheap as well. It wasn't like that cheap stuff. So, yeah, we kind of just sat there awkwardly because the food was there. It was out, and it was obviously going off for cold or whatever.
yeah.
Uh, so all of us were waiting, and then around 10:30, so an hour after it was meant to start, the manager of the place called us. Well, not called us, told us that they called and said that they were going to be around 15 minutes late. And we all looked at our watches or phones and were like, it's been an hour. So
We're gonna be about 15 minutes late. From being an hour late. You know, like.
yeah, so yeah, it was that was interesting. So, but it didn't end then. That's just the start of it. We get into more. So we were like, all right, fine. You know what? It's their special day. I didn't really think it was their special day. I thought it was just a birthday. But we decided to wait, be good guests. Uh, now it's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock at night. We didn't have anything to do the next day because it was the school holiday. Um, but that was a good save. I just got distracted by myself.
Yeah, understandable. It was a good save.
So yeah, we didn't have anything to do, so we didn't mind waiting. But then it was like quarter past 11, and then we all figured, all right, we're just gonna leave now because like it's been almost 2 hours and they aren't there. So then we leave, and that's pretty much the end of the party, but not the end of the experience because the next day, uh, this person calls us and is like, "Where the fuck were you all?" And we're like, "What?"
What do you mean?
They're like, what do you mean? So then we told her we were waiting there till like 11:15, and then they said we were literally there at around quarter to 12, and I'm like, quarter to 12?
That's
What?
what. Ah, yes. Sorry, quarter to 12. Like almost 3 hours after you were meant to be there.
Yeah, that's a tad bit late. And keep in mind, this party wasn't meant to be anything crazy. I'm okay with staying up late for and doing stuff. It's just quarter to 12.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we had stuff to do, but they carried on, and they were angry at us. They were especially angry at me because I told them I'd be there, right? They were angry at me and like, sorry, I should say angry at me and like four of my friends, specifically because we were kind of in a group, um, and I don't know what was going on through their head. So we explained it to them. We were like, listen, we were there, we were waiting, and you weren't there. We didn't even touch the food out of respect for you. And then they just started crying. They didn't do anything. They didn't like shout. They just cried. And then we felt bad. Like we felt really really bad because even though it wasn't our fault, there's a fucking like person who missed the Sweet 16.
yeah.
And so we're like, alright, what? Then turns out. That wasn't her actual Sweet 16.
What?
It was the day after. They were just throwing an early birthday.
What? What?
And that's when we were like, what? Now keep in mind, we didn't really know when her birthday was. Like, we around roughly when it was, but she was very ambiguous when telling us when her birthday is. Because, like, she said it's, because, you know, when you do ask your friends when's your birthday, right?
Yeah.
They usually give you the dates. She didn't really say that. She said it was just at midsummer, right? So we're
Yeah.
like, alright, close to midsummer. We're like, when's your birthday? She's like, it's at the end of this month. They were like, alright. Month came, and we're like, when's it? And she's like, it's actually at the end of this week. I will invite you. So we expected that the date that she gives us,
To be the Sweet 16.
yeah, like,
That
so,
is very Oh, that is very understandable.
yeah, it turns out no, their parents just wanted an early party for them. So then, like, we were thinking, we could probably just like be a bunch of assholes, like, oh, it's not your birthday, so we don't hold any responsibility. Yes, I just told both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, but no. So yeah, we didn't do that. We decided we were going to be nice, and we actually threw them a smaller sweet 16, which was very similar to the party that you just described. Where it was just a couple of friends just chilling, me cooking because I don't trust anyone else to cook.
Understandable.
Yeah, but the rest of the party, it's pretty chill. It's similar to what you described it. But I just thought that the initial interaction as to how that came was just really odd.
Yeah, that is odd.
But it's nowhere near the experiences that I've had with parties, because like some people are fucking weird, and maybe you explain your most interesting party that you
My most
you
interesting party
you
would
kind of
actually
interesting.
my most
You,
interesting party that I've ever experienced. I haven't really had that many like weird party experiences. So like my most interesting party experience would actually have to be one of my own parties. Um,
I think I know what you're talking about.
you probably do know what I'm talking about. Uh, so basically, I'm not gonna name any names, obviously.
Out of respect,
Well, for this specific person, it's not out of respect. It's just
out of
because
privacy.
privacy, yeah. But
Yeah,
normally it's out of respect and
yeah.
privacy. But yeah, so um, it was my party. We were all hanging around. Oh, don't want that to go in.
Maybe say the age of this party.
I
It was your birthday party, right?
Yeah, it was my birthday party. It
Yeah,
wasn't like on my birthday, I don't think, but it was my birthday party. I invited everybody. I think we were. How old were we? Like 10? 9?
yeah. I think you were 9. Yeah.
9, yeah. So I was 9. Everybody else was like 10 because I'm a year young for my grade. All my friends are older than me. That type beat. Um, uh, so we were there. We were just hanging out. It was a regular party. Until there was this point where, like, one of the boys, he, like, gathered the entire group of boys. He just, like, told us to all gather around. He got us in a circle, and he stood in the middle of the circle, and he just pulled his pants down.
Yeah, I knew it.
I don't know why.
I actually remember this.
He just pulled his pants down for no
Yeah.
reason. And he wasn't wearing any underwear.
Yeah. So my
So,
point of view from this, because I was at this party, my point of view, I was not there when it happened, but I was very close. I was in uh, uh, Skeppy's garage. I forgot what we were doing, but we were just in the garage.
yeah.
Um, and all I hear when this happened was a bunch of people going, well, I'm going to say shrieking. It wasn't like shrieking. It's just 9-year-olds. So,
Yeah. 9-year-olds, you know, they see a private part, they're like, ah, gross.
yeah. So, that was my point of view. It was, it was, yeah. The shrieking. It was funny. But yeah, that's don't pull your pants down, kids.
Don't pull your pants down at parties, you know, that's probably good advice.
Also sexual harassment.
I mean, we were 9.
Yeah, true, but I mean, he just probably wanted to like, get the boys' opinion.
Get the boys' opinion.
Yeah. You know, like how you can have just get some compliment from the boys, you know? Maybe he
Yeah.
just like didn't have a girlfriend. I mean, he was 9,
He was
but
9. I
he
don't
was
think
that.
any
Yeah,
9-year-old has a girlfriend. Well, actually, he was like 11. I think he's 2 years older than me, actually. He
fair.
lived on the
Well,
estate.
yeah. Well, maybe he just wanted, the uh, the help of a fellow lad.
The help of a fellow lad.
Yeah, because like who else was he supposed to get support?
Uh, I'm just glad he didn't call any of the girls over.
Yeah, that's when it gets, you know.
Yeah, that's when it gets a bit weird. It was just the boys.
Yeah, just
Um,
the boys, just to show for the boys.
just to show for the boys. Uh, but yeah, that's probably my weirdest party experience. What's yours?
uh, so I should probably mention that I've been to significantly more parties than Skeppy.
Yeah, I don't really leave
Just
the house.
yeah, I interact with people a fair amount more. So this party, well, this I have a lot of experiences. When we define interesting, do we want to say yeah? Do we want to funny? Like, what are we talking about?
Uh,
Because if it's just interesting, I have a bit too many experiences.
weirdest?
Weirdest, right. Weirdest one was so I was this was after graduation, year 11, which is kind of like the end of secondary for us, going on to sixth form of college. We graduated and we were just vibing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there was like a ceremony thing, which was also a party, but that's not where the weird stuff happened. It was pretty interesting. I did a pretty epic prank, which maybe I'll talk about just now. Um, but it was after that where we were like, all right, we're gonna head to our friend's house.
Oh, I wanted to pull
Uh,
that. It didn't hit her hard enough.
yeah. So this was when we were going to our friend's house. Now it was just a group of people. It wasn't like the year, because the big party was the entire year. Um, the after party was just a group of my friends, and we were just gonna chill. Um, and so we went to keep in mind this party, the year 11 party, it lasted a while. It started at 9 and it finished at around 5-ish. So yeah, the school was pretty okay with it, which is pretty good to school. But so at 5 a.m. we were like, alright, after party boys. So it was me, my friend, uh, his girlfriend, two other friends, two other people who were friends of my friends. We were just chilling. Went to our friend's house, and little did I know that this information got leaked out. And a person who, I'll just mention to Skeppy, it's not who you're thinking of. A person came to this party, and they were just vibing, and we were okay with it. We knew who this person was. We chilled with them. Uh, and in year 11, by the way, it was an old boys' school. The school I'm in now, it's a co-ed, but in year 11, secondary school, it was all boys. But we had a sister school, and we did communicate with them quite a lot. So this person is from the sister school, and we were just chilling, celebrating my amazing grades. I came first in the year. Uh,
Yes. If you
and
didn't know, Toast is very smart.
yeah, um, so yeah, we were just talking, right, just chilling. And I think what happened was me and my friends, we were just putting our legs in the pool. We didn't want to swim because it was fucking England and it's cold. Um, but we just had our legs in, and we were just chilling. And then the next thing I know, someone taps me on my shoulder, and I thought it was just them bringing me some watermelon, cause like that's what a nice friend would do. You ever bring your friend
Yep.
some watermelon? You should do
I
that.
don't really have watermelon that often, actually.
Watermelon is great. And if you haven't brought your friend some watermelon, go do that. Even if they're allergic. Fuck them.
Wow. You're allergic to
Yeah,
watermelon? How dare you?
yeah, how dare you? But yeah, no. So I just thought, nice innocent act. Little did I know, uh, when I turned towards them, because they tapped me on my shoulder, I turned towards them, and their face is right in my face, and they fucking kissed me on my cheek, and I'm like, okay.
Hello? Why?
Now keep in mind, when this happened in year 11, at this time, I was I was single, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily have the worst reaction because if this happened now, I would fucking deck them like they wouldn't be conscious because that is sexual harassment, by the way. You don't kiss random people, please. That's weird. Um, but yeah, so this person, they kissed me on my cheek, and I'm like, what? And then they were like, nah, 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 it's just to congratulate you, right? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, but don't fuck my cheek, bruh. And, uh, yeah, that was weird. Now, could you blame them for being just slightly in a state of euphoria? Maybe, but still, it was weird. Like, really, really weird. It was funny, but just weird. So yeah, I'd say that was my weirdest experience at a party.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah, it was,
Ugh.
the next day they didn't really apologize, but so that was okay. I don't really talk to them anymore. So yeah, that was that. Not the weirdest thing that's happened to me, but the weirdest thing that's happened in a party. In
Understandable.
very strange, very strange.
Oh,
And also that I think this topic leads very closely to the next thing, which is what's your worst experience in a party?
just my, in general, worst experience in a party.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like either worst party you've been in or worst experience in a IT party. Or just a bad party, anything. It has to be bad.
um,
So
huh. Could you go first? I need some time to think about that.
I'll go first. So um this was a recent party. Uh it was the summer vacation of year 12, which was June of this year, 2021. And keep in mind, England was out of COVID restrictions. Oh, cool. Yeah, nice own goal.
Thank you.
Yeah, England was out of restrictions, so we could go to party. And this again was an end of year party, and this happened during the actual year party, not an off. This happened in the party. So, this party was a bit more formally, I'd say, because like we are sixth form students, we're expected to act more mature than most teenagers should act. So for the most part of the party, pretty chilled. Now, if you invite me to a party, actually, if you're just with me in general, don't expect me to act mature. That's just not me. Uh, so, and the school knew that. So, whilst everyone was being, quite decent human beings, I was going there and fucking around outside by just, the putting ice on their seats and just watching them sit on ice. It's pretty funny. It's a harmless prank,
Sounds
right?
funny. Yeah, it is a harmless prank.
Um, so yeah, that's what I was doing. And then some guy,
I just can't hit the ball.
not even in my school, by the way, I might add, not from my school. I don't know which school he's from. Uh, he just walked up to me and slapped me, and I was like, "Why? Like, what was your reasoning for this?" Now,
Just
I wanted to
why? I
obviously
don't.
beat this. Yeah, obviously wanted to beat the shit out of him, right? But because this happened, when this happened, I was trying my best to stay out of fights because couldn't really get. Don't get into fights, kid. It's not that nice. You don't feel good. Um, so I was like, alright, you know what? I'll let this go. Just one question. Why? And then he just started swearing at me, I think, because he had the thickest English accent I've ever heard. I know when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it in a posh accent. I'm talking about because I'm in Liverpool right now, so we have a Scouse accent, and he fucking was like, I don't even think other Liverpool people could understand him. It was that fucking thick. Like you don't even know if he was speaking words or not. So I think he was just mumbling. But yeah, so he started swearing at me, and don't go. Okay, good. I think, and I was like, alright, firstly, slow down. And he just pointed his finger at me, shook his head, and when I say shook his head, I mean like He literally just shook his head. It wasn't like a disagree. Like you know when you say no, but like you
Yeah.
just shake your head, right? It wasn't like that. It was the most literal version of shaking your head, which I just found fucking amusing because he's pointing his finger at me, looking at me in my eye, trying to be as serious as possible, but then he just goes, "Ugh," and I'm like, what? What? So yeah, and then I obviously that made a bit of a scene, and because the teachers were there, they obviously had to. That's not cool. And because he wasn't from the school, that you kind of ruined the party because that's technically now going against state law.
Uh-huh.
So that ruined the
Get
party, and that ended
resolved.
up being like worst experience of the party. So I'd say the next worst experience I had was like it wasn't really to me. It was just I was I'd say probably like I don't know how to describe this without saying some bad details, right? But I wasn't in a good
Headspace.
conscious state of being, if you understand what I mean.
Good headspace.
Uh, yeah. So, yeah, and then obviously I was a bit of a dickhead to everyone, so that was pretty bad as well. How did I score that?
You
Yeah.
just
So I was a
drove.
bit of a dickhead. Alright. So yeah, I was a bit of a dickhead. Now some people find that fun me being a dickhead. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just don't be an asshole. So that'd be my second worst experience.
Hmm. I was thinking this entire time, and honestly, I don't think I've ever really had like a terrible or just bad in general experience at a party. I don't think I have. Maybe I'm just not
I'm
remembering because my memory is kind of dog shit.
Yeah, understandable. Also, I just found it funny that like when people have really different definitions of party. Like when you think of a party, what do you think?
I think of a gathering of people, and there is food there, normally friends.
Yeah, see, so that's what I would think about most of the time. Then you get people who think that it has to be at a club or it
No,
has to
that's
be
going out
hyper.
clubbing.
Yeah, which I mean, no offense to people who go to clubs, I just honestly don't find the appeal of it. It's strange. Like I don't know, people are weird and sweaty and gross, and I don't like it. But we're not here to talk about clubs.
That
If you
is
like clubbing,
true. I have also
good
never
on you.
been to a club.
I've been to a few, and they're not that great. Yes, I'm 17,
Whenever I
almost
think
18.
about a club, I always think about like the scenes in like movies or whatever, where there's just a bunch of people and there's like a DJ or whatever.
I mean, if you've ever been to a rave, it's pretty similar.
I've never been to a rave. But yeah, I just
Yeah,
think about a lot of people in close proximity, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't sound nice. Bunch of sweaty people just dancing.
yeah, and the sad part is that like that's some people's like genuine thought of a party, and I mean, like, yeah, if you like it, you like it. That's not really a party, is it? Because like there's so
Yeah,
many people that you just don't know. Like, you know,
true.
I think a party is like a social gathering, people you know, or you're gonna meet new people in a proper manner.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, but I don't know. And then some people's definition of a party is literally just like meeting up with people, not even like just food or having entertainment planned or anything like that. It's literally just meeting up with people, and I find that strange because like you don't
I
call going
think of that
to a
as a
party.
meetup.
Yeah, that's a meetup because
Yeah,
you don't like have a party every break in school, right? I mean, if you do, good on you, but that's not a party. It's a
yeah.
meetup. Although there are some people who actually have a party during the breaks.
Oh. Oh?
Um, but yeah, now see, I've back to the rave thing that people consider parties. I just like I don't get it. Well, viewers,
Oh.
future viewers, maybe just comment if you've been to a rave, or if you like raves, or you like clubbing.
Yeah.
What is the appeal of that? Like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I just genuinely don't understand. Like, why would
Yeah.
you?
I don't like being in close proximity with people is my problem. And I also
I
don't
did,
like feeling sweat.
yeah, I don't like the mentality that like most people at these kind of events have, and I do like to be around people who share similar mentality to me and or like thought process. Or we just have similar personality. Oh, I just drove away and let that go in. Um, so yeah, I want to be around people similar, and people at raves they're on similar to me. So I just can't find that fun. And also,
Understandable.
it's really loud. It's really, really loud. I don't mind
Yeah,
loud things. It's
I
just
I don't mind loud things considering I listen to metal and I play the drums.
same, except I don't play the drums, but I do listen to metal.
I don't really mind loud thing. Well, actually, I don't really like loud things.
I like I like being loud, but I don't like
I
loud
like
things. If
I
that
like
makes
I
any.
like being loud. Whenever something is like really really loud, like ear breaking loud, I'm like, okay, could you please just like shut up, please?
Yeah,
AKA a rave with the extremely loud music where I can't hear myself think and I can't hear other people talk. I don't like that.
yeah.
So I don't think I'd
I
like
don't
going
really.
to a concert either. But like if I'm
And
just by myself, aka like when I'm drumming or just listening to music by myself, then I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Even when I'm drumming, because drums are so goddamn loud, I have to wear earplugs because I don't want to
yeah,
damage my ears.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's really loud, and like with parties, I like to talk to people, which is why I just because like, you can't really talk to people, can you?
Oh,
Unless you like a private area in the venue.
yeah, like VIP lounge or whatever. Do
Yeah,
clubs
something like
have
that.
those?
Yeah. I do. So I mean, yeah, I don't see the deal. But there was something I was gonna say, but I forgot what it was. We should really have notes for these things.
We should, but eh,
Considering that we waffled for like an hour, that's pretty impressive.
true. The Peebis
Uh,
Podcast, the home of waffling. Like
yeah,
Waffle House, but better.
pretty much. I miss. I was there. But I mean, yeah, peoples, give us your opinion on parties. What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you call a
Yeah.
party? Stuff like
What do
that.
you define as a party?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I suck. He just
Oh,
drove past me.
yeah, interesting, interesting.
Uh, what's
So,
your
you know,
best party experience?
oh, my best parties, man? That would be, this is gonna sound kind of boring, but, so, there's a, wow, there's an award ceremony, that the top 10 of, schools in each city go to, um, and, for people wondering, it's not like a massive thing, like, if you're in a school where you don't, like, if you're in England and you're in a school that it's not the most common thing. It's just some schools do care a shit ton about their rankings. My school being one of them. And usually the schools that go to these kind of things, it's not an official government thing or whatever. It's literally just like a thing schools do. Uh, the schools that go to this, they're very competitive. So I'd say about like 50 people because only five school attended. Um, and it's the top 10 of every school. Uh, so I attended this. And it was really, really boring at first because it's the top 10 of every school. They're all stinky academics who are like, books, you know?
Mm,
Yes, I can say that. I am a nerd. I can say. Um, but they're all like really, really lacking in personality.
mhm.
So I get in there. First time, by the way, I'm late, and I wasn't late bad, justifiably late. I had to sort out a few things with the school first before I could go. Um, so I went in there and I go in and I'm standing around the cocktail tables, just kind of just chilling. They're not really doing anything. They're not really talking. They're sticking within their schools. Um, so I was like, all right, let's uh let's get some people a bit excited. So what I did, me being me, and absolutely lacking any type of social awareness, uh, decided to go make a fool of myself, which, I mean, it caused people to have fun, I guess. But I wasn't really making a fool of myself because people didn't laugh at me. They kind of just started having fun because basically, I provided energy to them. And I transferred energy from myself to them. And I have a shit ton of energy. So that was enough. Um, so what I
Yeah.
did to get the style was firstly, there was music. It was the world's most boring music. It was just the shit they play on the radio. And nobody likes that. So I go inside the music thing and I'm like, alright, let me just do something quick. And they're not allowed to say no. I mean, they're not allowed to say yes, sorry. But he allowed me to because like he knew that the party was just boring and I was like, I can fix it. So I go and I play a little song. If you want to know what the song is, I don't know if I want to say the name of the song because I like the ambiguousness. I don't know what the word is.
Hey.
Did I just fuck you up?
Yeah, I was going for a pinch.
My bad. I was too ahead. Um, so Skippy, this will give you a context of what the song is. So it was obviously Sora the Troll. I had to play Sora the Troll.
Oh.
Um, Now I needed it to be alright for school.
Yeah, so
Um,
you can't play the. If this video is deleted, it's because of YouTube.
but I did play the shorter song that he released, where he requests to see someone's genitals. Uh,
Oh.
so yeah, if you wanna know what,
Hey.
search it up. You'll
Just search Sora the Troll. Penis.
yeah, just search that. Uh, so I went and played that. Now obviously this is in a school meeting. Uh, so yeah, it's not as bad as something else I could have played, but it was still a school meeting. Uh,
Yeah.
but when this played, everyone was like, "Oh shit, this is not Christian." And the teachers were flipping the fuck out. Now my teachers knew exactly who it was, and they knew it was me. They were, "What the fuck happened to me?" They knew it was me, 100%, because my teachers know that I'm that kind of kid.
Yeah.
So I could tell because the way I did this was I went into the thing so no one saw me besides the person doing the music, and I went out of it without anyone seeing me. I was sneaky.
Mhm.
Um, and the teachers, everyone was like, "Alright, who the fuck did this, right?" And the music guy was like, "Check the camera." Keep in mind there were no cameras, so yeah. Um, the teachers, they were looking around trying to like blame people, call culprits, whatever. My teachers were just looking at me and they were just smiling.
They're
Like
just looking at
my
you like.
teachers, they were like,
Mm.
yeah. They just gave me a smirk, and I'm like, ah. So I decided, you know what, this isn't getting energized enough, right? Most people get energized from that. Like once the song ends, people are gonna, haha, funny thing just happened. Let's talk about that and be fun human beings. These twats not so much. So once the song go, oh,
I told you I'm getting
okay,
consistent at doing pinches like that. I just don't have the accuracy.
right.
Well, I told you, but you said I jumped over that. I told you, but like you didn't see the message. I asked you earlier whether you saw it, and you said you didn't. So technically, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah. So anyway, back to this. So the teachers, they were like fucking fuming right now, and I thought this would be a splendid time to get them a bit more rattled up. So
Uh-huh.
the teachers were allowed to consume alcohol at this specific thing, and they were all drinking wine. And I thought, it's a really, really good thing to pair with wine.
What? Cheese?
No, 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 no. You just take another guess. Something that I would put in wine. When I want to rattle, when I really want to put someone.
I don't know. Not
I
not
put
sure.
Tabasco sauce.
Oh no!
And I did not put a little. I put enough. And when I say enough, I mean enough to finish the bottle. No, I did not put a bottle of Tabasco sauce in each tea to sing, because that's dangerous. But I put enough to, like, run out from a bottle of Tabasco sauce, which, by the way, is a lot. And that is very spicy. Uh, yeah, that was an interesting scene, you know, just seeing a middle-aged, bald guy start fucking crying and turning into a tomato. That was yeah. It was even more funnier when we saw one of the principals from our rival school just like fucking like sweating his fucking ass off. Like I have never seen a man sweat so much before in my
Everybody
life.
has a different
I've been
reaction with spicy things.
yeah, I have been to a number of gyms in my life, but no one has ever built up a sweat like that man before. I think he single-handedly lost 1,000 calories, burnt off 1,000 calories just from all that sweat. Like that has to be the most effective way to lose weight,
Damn.
surely. So yeah, that was funny, and then the kids was still fucking not like happy, and I'm like, what is wrong with you fucking weirdos? So then I was like, alright, I was just gonna take it to the next level. I decided that the because we all had to sit on seats, I decided to do the good old reliable prank, which is not really a prank now. I just wanted to people. I put ice on everyone's chair. I put it under the seat lining so they couldn't see it was ice. But when they sat down, the amounts of high-pitched yelps I've heard. Yeah, just imagine 50 people kind of going at once. It was
Wow.
it was pretty nice. So that finally got people uh, talking, and the reason why I got people talking is because when that happened, I just evil laughing. I was like, "Wahahaha, you all fall for the plan." Uh,
Wow.
and then people they came together to hate me because they realized who was fucking up with them, who was fucking up,
Who
and
was
then they were
fucking
like,
up with them?
"Yes, that being said, what the fuck? That was a thing." Uh, Jesus, 121.
Jeez.
Thank you, person.
Nice.
Yeah, so they realized who was doing it, and then they were all like, it was him. And I was just like laughing, like, now keep in mind, I did not suit their personality. My personality, completely different from all of this. They were all like
Mm,
quiet, you know,
yeah.
kids who were just like, hey, leave me alone, human interaction, yeah. And I was like the
You know,
one, yeah, I was just that one kid who was just being extra.
just the one kid.
So, but then once they finally got into it, it ended up being one of the nicest, because like, I think they got drunk off apple juice or something. But like, I think it was the first time they had fun in their lives because they were like fucking like flipping tables and shit. Like, they got drunk simply off the euphoria of the moment, and it wasn't even like that exciting. Like, I understand I did a lot of shit to to fuck them up. Why can I not speak? Uh, but these kids were like, I swear one of them fucking took off their shirts. I cannot But I swear one of them had to have that. Like, the way they were acting, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, that happened, and it was one of the funniest things ever, and I fucking loved it. It was amazing. It was great. Yeah. What about you, kind sir?
Best experience I've had at a party?
Yeah.
Uh... I missed. Oh my gosh. Best experience I've had at a party? Huh. Every single party I've been to has kind of been like the same, you
Uh,
know?
kind of the same. So no, spiking people's drinks or putting ice cubes on people's chairs,
No.
which is really fun. I recommend everyone watch. Like, it's not. Yeah, you can't get in trouble for it, really. If you get in trouble for doing that, whoever's shouting at you, just tell them to get a life.
See, every single
Like,
party that I've ever been to, it hasn't been with the same group of people, but it's
it's
been
just the same.
it's every single person in said group has been like really similar, because you know, it's my group of friends. I hang out with I hang out with people who have a specific sense of humor, because if they don't
And
have
then you
my
get
sense.
me. Who
You
is
are
quite different.
me.
I am him, but also not him. I am like, I am Toaster. Nice to meet you. I am
Like
Toaster.
all of the parties that I used, well, hmm. There was a party that I really wanted to go to that I didn't get to go to. That apparently some crazy shit happened at. Now,
Interesting.
it's if I had gone, it probably wouldn't have been like one of the best experiences I've ever had at a party. But well, from the things that I've heard, I don't think I can talk about it on stream or mention who
Ah,
went.
right.
It
I see. I see.
was.
We don't condone any underage activities of any sort.
Oh yeah, yeah. We don't condone any underage activity. Yeah, 100%.
It's irresponsible.
Yeah.
Don't do.
But like the parties I used to go to when I was like under 12, I don't really
Under
remember.
12.
Under 12, yes, birthday parties.
Okay.
I don't really remember any of them. I only really remember parties with the groups of people that I met when I got into grade 8, which was when I was 12. No, 13.
Right. 13. You were 13.
13, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
I was
So,
13.
do
Yes.
question though. I know. Do the things that we used to do, like I used to come over. Those don't count as parties, do they?
What?
You know when I used to come over to your house? That doesn't count as a party, does it?
No. That's a meetup. That's a hangout.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's
That's
a
not a party.
like we had so. I think we can talk about. We'll talk about because it's still like probably more interesting than some of the stuff that the boringer stuff. The boringer. Let's make that a
Finish
word.
with what I was
Let's make
saying.
boringer a word. Yeah,
Um,
boringer should be one.
so I don't
But
really
yeah,
remember any of the parties before I was 13. I only remember the parties that I went to, or like meetups that I went to after I got into grade 8, aka when I was 13. Because it's all been with like similar, actually the same group of people. And all of them, there's not one that like stands out as better than the rest, because all of them are equally as entertaining, and that is to say they're fucking hilarious to be at, man. Best parties ever. 100% best parties.
understandable. Now the best part is when you drink too much energy drink. What you did, because
Uh,
drinking alcohol kind of cringe. Drinking
Drinking
energy drink.
alcohol kind of cringe. Drinking alcohol kind of cringe. No, but like all these parties that I'll go to on meetups, because it's with the same group of people, and we have similar senses of humor, it's just entertaining. Because we can make jokes and like what's the word?
What are you looking for, sir?
It's something off of each other. It's like it's like when you say something and then the next person they can just immediately say something off of that thing. And you just blah 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 blah, you know?
Understandable. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just, we just have good synergy, I guess, is the thing I meant to say.
Hmm.
So it's just very entertaining, you know? Very extremely very entertaining, and we do the stupidest shit, like how at this
Understandable.
one we created a defective fire.
Yeah. See, if we talk
That's
about stupid shit,
fun.
though.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Creating a defective fire. This is great. Uh, there was okay. There was this one time I went to a friend's house. It wasn't a party. It was actually for a school project. I don't know if any of you guys know what Villager News is, but you should. Villager News is great and hilarious. It's basically just like it's a news series, and it's based off of Minecraft villages. But
Interesting.
it's pretty damn entertaining. Basically, we were doing a history project, all right, and we based it off of Villager News.
Interesting.
For some reason, We were meant to make it like a news video about like stuff that happened in the 80s. So us being the geniuses we were, we called it 80s news.
Right.
Big brain. Yeah. So basically, I went over to my friend's house, and he had like this spot that was like a really open field that he said would be a good place for filming like a specific part of said project. Um, and it was a really good spot. It allowed us to run around in the background of of the videos and just do random things that were hilarious, but it got us 0% on the project because we made a comedy out of it instead of it being serious. So, you know.
Understandable.
But we just wanted to have fun. Anyway, so one of the characters I played in said project, I was meant to. I have this character that I did for a drama project called the Hypebeast Hydra. So basically, we were meant to recreate some mythological story, but like give it our own twist or whatever. So my group, we did Hercules. So the Hydra, instead of being an actual Hydra, we called it the Hypebeast Hydra, and we made it into a hype beast. If you don't know what a hype beast is, learn definitions of words, brother. But yeah, it's basically just a person who has like a bunch of expensive stuff. They always flex their money, stuff like that. And
Right.
so the Hypebeast Hydra, how the Hypebeast Hydra normally dresses is with sunglasses, like a bandana or something covering mouth and nose, not worn as an actual bandana should be worn, worn more like a mask, a cap, and a hoodie. Cap plus hoodie
Wow.
combo. So basically, I dressed up like that for one of the characters I played in the 80s news for the history project, but like not, you know, expensive clothes or anything. It was just like my regular clothes. I had to borrow my friend's clothes to be the Hypebeast Hydra, but anyway. Yeah, so I dressed like that. And I found a giant metal pole, which I still have to this day. But I found a
Ah,
giant metal pole, and I used said pole to just stand there menacingly. And then at a certain point, we were like taking a break from filming, and we went to the store. And
yes.
I was too lazy to come out of costume. So I went to the store in a hoodie, a cap, sunglasses, a mask, and a giant rusty metal pole.
Right. Not the best idea.
I didn't actually go into the store, but I like stood
Um,
outside leaning against a wall, and there were people who walked past me and they just stared at me, and I was like, yeah, what up?
yeah.
And
Don't do
then,
that.
uh, in the same area, we had a bunch of signs, right? Like, we had cardboard and we wrote on them. Since we were made
Right.
our thing into a comedy, we were meant to be, like, showing protests. But since we made it into a comedy, we wrote stuff on it like, how am I still employed?
Right.
And then, while taking a break from filming, we went, we went to just, like, the entrance to said... It was like, it was fields that school... There were 2 or 3 different fields. And, on one of these fields there was like a bar near it, and then on another field, like schools would sometimes practice sports, or maybe it was just like sports clubs. And then there was another one where nobody ever went. That's the one we filmed on. But we stood at the entrance to that where cars were like driving in and stuff, and we just stood there and held up the signs. And you know,
Interesting.
that improved so many people's day. I'm not even capping to you. There was like a mother who drove past us with her children in the back, and she looked so tired and so dead, like she was having the worst day ever. And then when she saw us standing there, just holding up these signs, bobbing up and down, me with my face completely covered on like a 35-degree day, just standing there. She looked genuinely happy, and she laughed.
I mean, I think she's it's still nice, but I think she was laughing at.
Oh no, she was 100% laughing at us, but that's still entertaining the people. I don't care if
Yeah.
people laugh at me. I entertain. I don't care if people don't laugh with me if they laugh at me instead. I am an entertainer.
Ooh. I did epic team play with the other team, but
I
yeah.
said it. I said it improved people's days. I didn't say like they were laughing with us. Although technically, even though they were laughing at us, they were laughing with us because we were laughing at ourselves.
True, makes sense, understandable.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of dumb shit you do, and it's pretty fun. The kind of dumb shit I do. It's
Is put ice on people's seats and Tabasco in their wine.
oh no, that wasn't like mad shit. That was like pretty common. I do that like
That was calm.
yeah, no, I do that often. Like sometimes I just go to mess with them because why not? See, I think it's a good thing, but people say that's the one bad
What
thing.
was my original point? I don't even remember. That's how shit my memory is. I don't remember what my original point and why I went on that old tangent is.
I know. We went on a lot of tangents. But anyway, back to my thing. Yeah, that's people say that it's like a bad thing about being friends with me is that expect to be fucked with a lot. I think it's a good thing. It adds variety in your life. But if I were to mention some of the more interesting fucked up kind of things that we do, like it's not fucked up as it's
Just,
more fucked
just
up
fucking with
like
people.
yeah, just well, not with people. This time it was just fucking, just fucking.
Just, just fucking.
It's just fucking. But I don't understand how I did, but we were like, it was a group of me and my friends, but they were like fun people. They weren't. And we were meant to be studying, but we kind of already finished the work because the teacher underestimated how smart we are.
Hmm.
So we were like, let's go do shit. So we just went around. Now this was in the city center. And then we started just like walking around. We went to a convenience store, and we saw that they had a department store opening. I want to be their first customer, so we went to the department store, and we weren't the first customers, sadly, but we did buy a microwave. We don't know why we bought a microwave, but we bought a microwave, and it gets even better. So we bought the microwave, and we decided we're gonna buy a bunch of other. So literally, what we did, we went to random aisles of the store. The first thing we saw, or like we like spun a pencil, and the thing that the pencil was pointing to, we buy it. Did this get expensive? Not really. The most expensive thing was a microwave. Yeah, it
Hmm.
wasn't that bad. But the shit that we bought, I can't actually name, but it was pretty mad. But then after that is where we started doing shit that we probably should do because it's illegal, but it's not illegal as in Twitch will be okay with us saying it. It's illegal as in the government actually messing with radioactive substances, um, which is
Hmm.
what we did because we're a group of physics students. It's funny to us. Um, so what we did, which is something my lady friend deeply disapproves of me doing, is disassembling a microwave to use its transmitter. Because in case you guys don't know, there's a type of microwaves are a type of wave. It's not a machine.
Yes.
Yes, that's what
It,
the
it
machine is
is it,
called.
it is a machine. It's the name of a machine, but microwaves are not. Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we took out the transmitter, and we were like, now keep in mind they were very scared of me having a microwave transmitter because they'll give me stuff that can mutate people. That's like common knowledge. Don't give toast to stuff that could cause people to.
Don't
Uh,
give toast to anything even remotely dangerous.
People don't trust me with spoons, by the way.
A spoot is remotely dangerous.
A spoot. Did you say a spoot?
I'm not sure what I said.
You said a spoot.
A spoot is remotely dangerous. Am I wrong?
Well, what's a spoot?
Yes.
Yes, okay, makes sense. But so yeah, people don't trust me with spoons. And I don't see why. But anyway, back to this. So they were messing around with the microwave transmitter, and we were like, let's see what else we have in here. So, uh, we were just going around, and then we found a very, very nice thing. Probably, definitely should not have, uh, which was a smoke alarm detector.
Oh.
Now, for you guys who don't know, smoke alarms work by transmitting alpha radiation. Now that's not bad for you. But when that radiation is broken by a new type of thing being released into, I'm not going to explain how smoke alarms work, but
I'm not gonna
basically,
explain how
alpha
smoke
radiation.
alarms work. You should already know this.
Yeah, you should already know this, kids. But yeah, point is, there is particles, and I now have a transmitter that carries a form of moving said
Wow.
particles, that being microwaves. Uh, so, me being me, I decide, how about we just take the alpha particles that are being generated from the smoke alarm, we take the microwave being, microwavy, and we just, and, try to suddenly mutate some substances that we had.
Very
Organic
smart.
substances, such as fruit and meat.
Ow.
Uh, it's fine, it worked out.
I wasn't trying to
Uh,
score.
but I was. And he helped. See, that's a team effort.
Carry on.
So yeah. Now, how did this end up? Horribly, because we made a fatal mistake and forgot. I'm not going to explain the physics.
A fatal
You know,
mistake?
yeah, because we could have died. uh, this is why you don't play with substances, kids. Uh, so we forgot that certain things in certain elements contain mercury. Now, you're
Huh.
not allowed to have mercury, but a small percentage of items do contain mercury. Um, and well, let's just say mercury microwaves and alpha particles, and also we had iodine, for some reason. Now, mercury and iodine, I'm not too sure what the chemical reaction to that is, but all we know is that shit got hot real quick. Now, did it help that we also had organic substances that were likely to get caught on fire because of extreme heat? Yes, but uh, and we also had types of plastics that deform greatly because of heat, which obviously is transferred by the microwave. So when you combine the stuff together and you don't have sufficient safety procedures,
Mm-hmm.
such as secure connections,
Mm-hmm.
using lab equipment,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing this in a field, stuff tends to go wrong real quick. Uh, so we were just fucking around. And the next thing we know is that we had how do I describe it? A liquidized bowl. So
A
imagine a
liquidized
plastic.
bowl. You
So
turned a
imagine
plastic bowl into liquid?
into liquid. Yes, we turned a plastic bowl into liquid.
Isn't
Uh,
that unhealthy to inhale?
it is, which is why I said it's legal.
Huh.
Because, by the way, the mercury substance was so small that it wouldn't have been lethal if it were to be liquid. But we weren't sure about what would happen if we got it exposed to the amount of radiation that we had. Okay, but it's not the worst amount of radiation, and it's not the worst kind of wave. You don't want X-rays, by the way. And don't be afraid of X-rays. I'm just saying you don't want to be exposed to it a lot. And
Yeah.
the worst kind of radiation that you could have, say, is probably gamma. Even though it passes through you real quick, it's like still not nice. Um, so it wasn't the worst kind of setup that we had, but the point is that we were working with something we should have in an environment not very nice for this. It also didn't help that one of our friends had a lighter, and that's where shit went not legal. I mean, shit was already not legal. You're not allowed to do the stuff that we were doing. But then
Yeah.
you go take a lighter, which is energy, heat is energy, and then fire is heat, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you add something that is viable to be combusted, lighted fluid, and you go transfer a shit ton of energy to it. What do you think happens, Skeppy?
Hot.
Hot? Well,
Hot.
yeah, you would be wrong. Basically,
I
we
kind of
created.
spaced out when you were saying what you did, so I just said hot because I didn't know. I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention to the ingredients.
Ingredients. Well, basically, we created a mini frag grenade.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
all of
say kaboom, but since I wasn't sure what you said, I just said hot. Huh.
you're done.
I probably should have said kaboom.
Yeah, I mean, all of the lighter fluid in the lighter combusted at once. Uh, which you know, boom. That's what happened. Kaboom.
Understandable.
None of the engine, but oh boy, was that shit bright. And also very dangerous. We literally had to like not
Mini
be anywhere
frag
remote.
sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it does. So and yeah, that was a pretty funny, I'd say.
Pretty
Probably very.
funny.
Yeah, most people would not find that funny, mainly because most people wouldn't know what the fuck we did. But I mean, for a bunch of physics students, that was really funny. Especially when
Understandable.
I told, especially when we told our teacher because our teacher, you know, expected that I would tell them what would happen because I am smartest in my physics class. He expected me to say, "Hey, shit's gonna explode." Little did he know that I was the one who wanted shit to explode.
You
So,
wanted the shit to explode. You were like, oh no, it's gonna explode. I want that to happen. That's why I'm doing this. It's all part of my grand master plan.
yeah, see, people just really don't trust me anymore. I mean, whenever we go. Oh, by the way, no more matches. I kind of want to do some training. Uh,
Oh,
whenever
I,
we
I, I, I just went onto, I literally just went onto the Peebis screen.
right. Me.
Carry on.
All right. So, well, all right. People, when we go to restaurants, there is, and here's why people don't trust me with spoons. So, you know how restaurants give you a cutlery, as most restaurants should. They don't get cutlery with your restaurants. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. But some restaurants have a light on. And by light, I mean like a candle or something on the table. There's the normal stuff.
Mm.
I decided that one day I was going to heat the spoon up to be red hot with the lighter, not the lighter, the fire that was on the table, and try to change its shape. Yeah, not a good idea. Firstly, the restaurant doesn't like it. Secondly, your friends, who are very likely going to have to take the blame for it, also don't like it. So yeah, that people don't trust me. Also because one time I sharpened a spoon to be sharper than a knife.
But why?
Because I could. And now keep in mind, uh, I don't need a knife. I don't need a sharp knife to be scary because, Skeppy, remember the time when I cut you from 2 meters away with a knife that couldn't even cut a tomato?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Uh, I don't need something sharp to hurt someone. So, me with a sharp spoon is something like most people don't want. But once again, I find it funny. People just, I don't know why people think I'm like gonna kill them.
I wonder why they think that. I just
I'll never try
elbowed
to
my
kill any of my
PC
friends.
box accidentally while stretching.
Dumbass. But in all fairness, I haven't tried to kill any of my friends recently.
I I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure the last person I tried to kill was you. I mean, like, who was my friend?
I don't think you tried to kill me per se.
I wanted to.
Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. 100%. Definitely. You can't live without me.
Ah, ah,
You can't live without
ah,
me, so.
ah,
Mm.
ah.
Bro, No, if I'm
Oh,
gone, you will literally only have half of a brain cell. The other half will be gone.
no, remember, I do have another brain.
Mm, cap.
I use it for school.
Oh, yeah. True, true, true.
So technically, I have 1.5 brain cells. And then with Skeppy, I have 2 brain cells.
Yeah.
But I don't use the other brain cells for when I'm.
I only have a single brain cell, and that's only with Toaster.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, who needs brain cells anyway?
True.
No. Yeah, I mean, cool podcast.
Yeah, that was a great first episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for watching this unofficial first episode of the Peebis Podcast. Um, I think we're gonna end it here. Thanks again. Thanks for watching or listening. I mean, since this is a podcast, you could kind of just like put it on and listen, I guess. But yeah, this has been me, your host, Scary Beppy, with co-host Toaster, and we'll be signing
Also,
off.
mate,
Mate,
if you
mate.
have any suggestions, please tell
Yes,
us.
if you have
Us.
any suggestions for topics of podcasts, please suggest a way. You can join my Discord and then put it
Yeah.
in the suggestions channel.
Yeah.
Big
Or
brain.
your comments. I want to join
Oh, in the
Twitch.
comments, yeah, you could do that too. Alright, but yeah, I think I'm also gonna be ending stream. Goodbye,
Alright.
everybody.